Reece, the screener told me that he called us racists and bigots.
Okay.
That's what he did. Like when he called in, he went straight to calling us before even saying, "Hi, my name is so and so. I'm calling him." This is what the screener told me. He called us racists and bigots. So
Okay.
we know where that was going. Spirit tapped in. You know,
Whatever. I'm not entertaining white men who want to be fake, aggrieved, and oppressed. Y'all won. Okay? Y'all won. And you're going to just sit back and fucking giggle your ass off for the next 4 years or however many years at all the carnage is going to be unleashed. Your wet dream is here. But what you're not going to be able to do is gaslight the rest of us and bully the rest of us into not acknowledging the fucking reality of what you've unleashed. Because this wasn't on me. This wasn't on Clay. This wasn't on our demographic. We didn't do this shit. So at
no.
least what you can do is stand in it, own it, lean in, and just say you're fucking enjoying it. Just say you're enjoying it because this is what you
Until they're hurt by it. Until they're impacted.
enjoy that too. Because you should have known that. You should have known that.
They're
Yeah.
coming after y'all too. They're coming after y'all sitting on welfare in West Virginia. They're coming after y'all sitting on unemployment in Kentucky.
Mm.
They're coming after y'all on your WIC and your SNAP in Oregon.
Medicare, Medicaid, all that shit. Yep.
Medicare,
Speak on
Medicaid.
that. Mm.
They're coming after y'all in
Mm.
rural Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
in rural Alabama,
Mm.
in rural Louisiana.
We're so far off the plot. So far off the plot. Like, I'm just like, how the fuck is any of this shit helping? Every metric we're going
They don't want to help.
down.
They want to dismantle.
Yeah.
They want to burn our economic infrastructure down. And when I say economic infrastructure, I mean the little bit of an infrastructure that helps middle class and poor people.
Mm.
I'm sure you all been to countries where there is no unemployment, where there is no WIC or SNAP, where there is no social services. That's what they want because it costs money. What did Dr. King say? It is expensive to abolish poverty.
Mm.
And they haven't abolished poverty, obviously. But I've been on welfare. I've lived on Section 8. As the price is getting higher. I tell people before the New Deal, the majority of all Americans were in poverty.
Mm-hmm.
Before the New Deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how FDR became the enemy. Who knew? Mind you, the New Deal originally didn't even want to include us.
Yeah.
The New Deal specifically X'd out domestic servants and folks who were in agriculture.
Mm.
But inadvertently, it ended up helping black communities.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how great our country could have been, Reecie, that we use this word great, if the opposition party didn't fight against the New Deal, didn't
Mm-hmm.
fight against the Great Society. The black middle class would skyrocket 5 years after the Civil Rights Act. Imagine if folks would have just said, you know what? These people are doing good. Let them shine. But you know what happened? Ronald Reagan said, damn, I don't like this.
Mm.
1974, a black family's on the cover of Time magazine, two kids and a German Shepherd. Look it up, y'all. It was a story on the black middle class. The black middle class is booming. We got to change this shit.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Then this
Wow.
war on drugs comes along.
Mm.
I can recall walking down the street seeing folks cracked. Oh, so and so's cracked out. So and so's cracked out. It decimates the black middle class.
Mm. Mm-mm.
There has been policies in place to let us shine, like Reconstruction, but the opposition party always comes along and fucks it up.
Mm. Mm-mm. Yep.
Always. If they would have let you be great. Now, thankfully, things have improved, not enough. But
Mm-hmm.
imagine where we would have a little to no racial wealth gap.
Mm. Mm. Mm-mm.
Imagine if Hillary Clinton could have got her universal health care plan through in the early 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always the opposition. So when y'all say, I don't see anything happening, do you know what the opposition party is doing in Mississippi? Do you know
Yeah.
what they're doing in Alabama? Do you know what they're doing in Arkansas? Do you know what they're doing in Florida?
Mm.
That's the great story of America. An amazing policy will go through, and the opposition party fights against it every step of the way, even as their constituents are benefiting from it.
Mm-mm-mm.
Here we are. Biden cleans up our economy. The Wall Street Journal said a week before the election, whoever becomes president of the United States in November will inherit a strong economy.
Yep.
And so for the person who called in and called me a racist or a bigot, I want everybody to have food on their table. I want everybody to have health care. I don't want anybody to get sick and not be able to afford the doctor. I want everybody to be able to go to school, go to a public school. I want everybody to be comfortable. I don't think anybody should be paid $7.25 an hour, an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a senior should be working at a grocery store bagging groceries because their Social Security cannot cover their expenses.
Right. Mm.
And if you think the opposite, maybe you're the fucking racist.
Mm.
Maybe you're anti-American. Maybe you're anti-human, anti-middle class.
This is economic carnage and chaos. And it sucks because a lot of people are in the chat are talking about their 401ks. You know, people are
Yes.
getting layoffs. Well, 401ks are something that can help you stay afloat for a little bit of time.
That's right.
But
That's right.
as you are ushering people the fuck out the door, you're killing their 401ks in the process because of what? There's no logic behind this, and there's nobody stopping him, which is even crazier. Everybody's just like la da 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 la da 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 la Trump, whatever you want to do. I mean, this is fucking nuts. It's nuts.
And I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to, Reecie, who are personally impacted by this. I just want y'all to know, like I said, if you're a younger person, this is trickle down economics. Make the rich richer, and it'll trickle down to everybody else. It's never effing worked. It's never. This is Ronald Reagan's concoction. Just make them rich as hell, and they're going to give money to everybody else.
Mm.
How many times you've been at a job and you got a raise, and the raise was a quarter?
Yep.
How many times?
Yep.
Oh, we're going to give you a raise. We're going to give you a quarter more.
Mm.
How does that help you? Show me in a world where you got all these rich people just being so giving, so loving.
Benevolent. Charitable.
Rich people are not Oprah's favorite things. They ain't going to do an Oprah.
Right.
Because if you didn't work hard enough, you're lazy, you're shiftless. If you don't have a good job, you didn't work hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's on you.
Mm.
If your job isn't paying you enough, find another job. It's old school. It's this is what it is. So spare me that. That's a trickle down lie.
Mm.
But we don't want to pay people fairly. Then we're shocked when you have immigrants doing a bunch of work. You're like, oh my gosh. But I think it's important to point out this really isn't new. I know Trump is messier and over the top and flagrant and all that kind of stuff. And I know Ronald Reagan was against tariffs for the most part, crazy tariffs. I know that he supported immigration in a different way. But it's for the rich at the end of the day. Let them eat cake until they all starve.
Mm-hmm.
It's Marie Antoinette. It's Trump Antoinette. It's Reagan Antoinette. It's Bush Antoinette. It's Nixon Antoinette. It's Ford Antoinette. That's what it is. Let them eat cake. This is a story as old as time. Let them be peasants.
Mm.
A lot of people don't like the infrastructure of helping the servants.
Yeah.
You don't want to help the servants. You don't want to help the people who are beneath you. You got to serve me. I brought this up before. It's called the mudsill theory. It came from Senator John Hammond. evil demonic slave owner who basically said that there has always been a lower class and an upper class,
Mm-hmm.
and that God designed the lower class to be there to, I'm sorry, Senator James Hammond. God designed the lower class to be there to serve the upper class.
Mm.
He was a South Carolina senator that indentured servants, enslaved Africans,
Yeah.
the poor white folks, you must serve us. It's the structure of exploitation. So
Mm.
it's the mudsill theory in the 19th century. It's Ronald Reagan in the 1980s. Like, this is what it is. So I know we're in the same, but I'm just saying, like, this ain't new shit.
No, you're right. Mm-hmm. It's always been a caste system of sorts.